the Hello Beauties podcast, and we are moving right along to episode number 5. Okay, so it's the end of the year. We have 3 more days left of December. We have 3 more days left of the year of 2020. Now, the title of this episode is called New Year, New Me. Now, I know this is a little bit of a cliche because you hear it all the time. People always say New Year, New Me. I've never been the type of person to say that. It's just never been me. But this year, with how 2020 has been going, I decided that, actually that's a good phrase to say, because I do want to change a few things that I've learned about myself during this pandemic, quarantine, just up and down life situations that I've been going through in 2020. Now, I want to take that New Year, New Me and actually apply it to my life in the upcoming year. Now, if you're on social media, like I have every social media except for Twitter. I don't know if I can get into Twitter. And everybody always saying, pretty much I see at least 3 to 4 times a day about how bad 2020 is. They want it to be over. Like, I never complained about that because I feel like as long as I'm here in the land of the living, I'm able here to talk to y'all. I'm able here to do my podcast. I'm able to be with my children. I'm able to be with my family. Like, that's a blessing in itself. So I would not complain about anything because I've been through some things this year just like anybody else, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like what I've gone through isn't any different than when I went through stuff in 2019, when I went through stuff in 2018, when I went through stuff in 2017. Like, I don't feel like it's any different. It's just another year, and everybody has their ups and downs. Like, you have your seasons, and I went through my seasons. I probably will continue to go through my seasons, so who am I to complain? Like, I've never been the one to complain. I've been the one to pray. But I will tell y'all, this year I've learned to pray harder, okay? Like, pray harder, pray stronger, pray a lot. Like, I pray like all through the day, y'all. Like, all through the day, multiple times a day. I may pray and then forget about something. I feel like I need to get back on my knees and pray again. Like, that's how much I pray. Because some of the things that I have gone through this year have brought me closer to God. I grew up in church. I was baptized. We was in the church choir. Me and my sister used to make up songs and sing. Like, my mama raised us in the church. So churches and, being close to God and knowing the Bible and all of that is nothing new to me. So that came natural. So it's like I grew closer. Because now, one thing I have gone through this year that was like an eye-opener for me was my health issues. I was diagnosed with GERD in the summertime of this year. And it took like me on it was like I did a whole 360, like with everything. And I had to change my diet. I had to lose weight. I had to get more fit. I had to be, just overall, like, when people be like, how many times people be trying to tell y'all to eat healthy? Look, my husband, he complained every day when I bring something. I tell him and my oldest son, my 16-year-old, because they the only ones who complain. I don't think my daughter, who's my preteen, she really don't be wanting nobody in her face, honey. She be in her room to herself, hoping nobody even bother her. So she don't complain about the food. And my 3 youngest, they don't complain. It's pretty much what I say they eat. But the ones well, my 16-year-old, he really can't complain neither because it's what I say. But he will voice his opinion because he's like a teenage boy. And my husband would definitely voice his. And I'd be like, look, if I had known that food would put me in the situation that I'm in now with my health, it ain't no way that I would still be eating as terrible as I was eating. I would have changed a long time ago. And my body kept giving me signs, y'all. It kept giving me signs. Like, listen to your body when it gives you signs. It kept giving me sign and sign, but I didn't. But me being not knowing, it's like headaches. We have headaches all the time, but sometimes headaches mean something. Being dizzy, you may get dizzy, vertigo, but sometimes they may mean something. So Google became my best friend. I'm gonna tell y'all, baby, I am a Googling fool, okay? I will Google everything, like, especially now, I'm more alert of things that go on with my body. And I kind of like gotta calm down with it because sometimes it'll give me like slick paranoid. But yeah, so in going into the new year, the New Year, New Me, I do want to apply some things because what am I going to do to make a new me? Like, a lot of people say that they come up with these New Year's resolutions. If it ain't came down y'all timeline yet, I'm sure it's going to be coming in the next few days about, honey, if you ain't doing this, when the clock strikes 11:59, when it's like 12, I'm leaving you here and all that type of stuff right there. But I like, not the nonsense, like more of the like, what are you going to accomplish in the new year? What type of business ventures will you go out to in the new year? Like, what are you going to change about yourself? Whether it's health, it's wealth, your finances, being closer to your family, trying to be a better person. Like, what are you going to do to actually apply that to your life going into the new year? Like, for real. People make New Year's resolutions that they probably, like, never keep. But it's like, how do you keep a New Year's resolution? Like, stay committed to what you said. But I feel like you need to set a resolution that's actually like goals and something that you really want to achieve, like dreams. I have big dreams for Hello Beauties podcast. I have big dreams for You Two Sis podcast. I have big dreams for another thing that me and my sister are working on in the background right now. I have big dreams just overall. But I guess to keep my big dreams and my New Year's resolution to become a better me in the new year, the new year, new me, it's like set plans for your big dreams. Like, set small plans so you're able to accomplish them, and then it'll make it easier. And then don't be hard on yourself. Don't beat yourself up, because look, perfection is unattainable. Okay, there's no such thing as perfect, but you can try to get there. Like, it's okay to like try to challenge yourself to be perfect, but honey, y'all ain't gonna ever be perfect. It just is what it is, because like I said, life comes with its ups and downs. We all go through seasons for reasons, and that's just what it is. But my health was like a major thing that was like an eye-opener for me. So going into the new year, I would definitely continue to be more healthy than I was in the past years, and even this year. Like, I had to get on board. I had to get on board with my health, because it was like, girl, get it together, because I wasn't me. I wasn't in control of my body, and it was something that I never want to experience again. So definitely applying the new year, new me when it comes to eating healthier. And then I changed some of the food with my children. My husband's died, because it's like, if I was eating like that and I got to where I am, okay, so just to break it down, I suffer from GERD, which is another form of acid reflux, if y'all don't know. And in my opinion, the worst case of it, because it comes with so many symptoms, and it comes at you at random. Like, I can just be sitting here just like I'm talking to y'all now. And just perfect example, I had a few people that kind of like gave me a little critique me a little bit on the last video I did with my special guest Vanessa on the He Cheated Now What episode 4. If y'all haven't listened to that yet, after you get through listening to this, or if you watch me on YouTube, after you get through watching this, go ahead and check that out. It's available on YouTube, and it's available on all podcast platforms. Like, my fatigue came over me in the episode, and like, you can see it in my face. And I had 2 people like question me about the look on my face, and that's what it was. Like, so it comes at me at random, and I can feel so low, and like, I don't even want to I want to just lay and just slump, but I feel like I can't let it defeat me. So I gotta like get up and I gotta move. So like, I don't want to ever be like I was though back in like June and July and August. Like, that was my worst. I was in and out the hospital more than I wanted to be this year. I've never been to the hospital that many times. And then the ambulance got called to my home plenty of times this year. They just was here last week, because I go through panic attacks. I go through major fatigue. I have migraines. I just have aches and pains. It's just like everything. And then with this COVID going on, girl, you might be like, honey, COVID, no. Everything seems like it may be COVID these days, but it's like I go through a lot. I do, and it's still challenging at times, but I'm trying to overcome it. So, just about changing my diet, sticking to my diet, staying true to that, and just making a healthier me going into the year 2021. Like, this what I'm going to apply. One thing I'm going to apply to new year, new me. And then when it comes to my finances, like, okay, so I've worked from the age of 14 until 31, like actually clocking in on somebody's job. It wasn't until I had my 5th child in 2018, we decided that I should stay home and, tend to my newest baby, and then just be there for my other kids, because I kind of have, not stir steppers, y'all. I was gonna say stir steppers. No, they got some years in between. All my children, all my youngest 3 are only 2 years apart, but when it comes to my oldest and to my 3rd baby, they have like 4 to 5 years apart. So they spaced out a little bit, but it was like every time I had a baby and I got one off to school, I was getting pregnant again, child, when it came to my last 3, and I was staying at home. So it was like, we was like, why give a daycare or pay anybody money when we watch our own kids? Like, I've worked all these years, he's very capable of taking care of us. And you know, the money I was making anyway was just like going to me and the kids. It was like never like I paid any bill, and if I did, it wasn't a major bill. It was just like to help them out if needed. You know what I'm saying? So I stayed at home. I left work September of 2018, actually like clocking in on somebody's job and haven't been back to work since. I had became a wife that year. I was a new mother again. So it's like that year I kind of needed to myself. Then I went through postpartum real bad, and it took me 6 months to bounce back and like actually like be myself. So 2018 was a great year, and then kind of a trying year going into 2019 because my postpartum led all the way from 2018 to 2019. And like I had postpartum before with Callie, my baby before Chase, and I didn't really know what postpartum was. And by the time I learned of what it even was, I was already over it. And when it came with Chase, I knew the signs and I knew exactly what it was, and it hit me like a ton of bricks, baby. And I was like, look, okay. So I stayed at home. Baby, I was over this so fast. Like, after that post, I think it was making me even more depressed, the fact that I was at home. And it was like, yeah, look, I already knew I was going to be a wife before I became a wife. Okay, it was just me. It's just in me. And especially to be a mother. Like, I didn't think I was going to have 5 kids, but I definitely thought 2, and I didn't mind 3. You know, but God gave me 5, and it is what it is, and I love all of my babies. And, I was over it though, y'all. I don't know if it was like some of the postpartum with the depression kicking in, or just me always being a working mom, a working person. Since I was 14 years old, I've had a job. Like, I've always clocked in on somebody's job and been working to get me a check. And it's like, girl, I'm sick of being at home. So then I started KJ Designs, which is my first business venture, because I love to decorate. Like, I could actually like walk in a room and like immediately start to decorate it. Like, this is just my thing. I love to decorate. I love interior design. And then I started to like learn more of the craft, started getting more invested in it and learning like different colors. Like, cause y'all know we be like, it's light blue, dark blue. No, it's actually like different color blues and different color reds and stuff like that. And I remember, y'all, the color teal. I remember I learned the color teal. I don't know what I called it at first. But when I learned the color teal, baby, it was like, I don't know what it was with that word or what it was. The color, first of all, I love the color. I love the color teal with a chocolate brown or with a gray. I love that when it comes to decor. Baby, I wore that word out, okay? I was like, teal this, teal that. Honey, but that was like years ago. But anyway, so, okay, the earring just gonna stay down. So anyway, so I was just like, you know, if y'all listening, I know if y'all looking, y'all can see what happened. If y'all listening, my earring just fell off, but I'm gonna just keep it off, honey, because I don't have time. I'm gonna keep going. So anyway, so, you know, and so I started to do that, and it kept me going for a minute. It kept me from not being bored. But then, going into this year, COVID happened. It was like, I'm not going in anybody's house decorating anything, and it was crazy because I had talked to somebody about it. It was like, you know, but just protect yourself. You know, take all the necessary precautions. And the young lady that I had did an e-design for, we had got out everything in order and got everything together. And I was waiting on her, you know, to get back with her to see if she approved of the final e-design and what she wanted to do. And she didn't get back to me. So I was letting her reach out to me. I didn't want to keep reaching out to her saying like I wanted to, you know, bother somebody. And so I finally like reached out to her, and she told me that she had contracted COVID. And that was like, okay, see, that's exactly why I didn't want to go into anybody's home, because it's like, so they put a stopper on that. Now, that was like going into the year. So then we're going to backtrack a little bit, because like the first month of the year, we started year.The podcast, me and my sister. And at first, it was like something just to do, something almost like a hobby, because I don't know if I even knew about podcasts. Like, I don't know if I even knew about it. Maybe I seen them, I didn't know that those were podcasts. I might even looked at some, just didn't know that you called them podcasts. And then the more and more we got into it, I'm like, okay, like, this is my thing. Like, I really enjoy this, because I can already talk now. Like, I have a YouTube channel, being Nene. I do mostly vlogs. I talk all the time. So I'm not camera shy. And I'm a talkative person. And then me and my sister, like, we talk all the time about all different kind of issues, what's going on in the world, honey, little tea, little drama. Like, we do that anyway. So you two sis podcast, like you two sis, like you go through that too. Like, that became natural and it became a thing. So, and applying the new year, new me into my businesses. And then I started, of course, Hello Beauties podcast, what are y'all watching right now and listening to right now, just a month ago. We're just a month in, and that was off of You Two Sis podcast. Like, I enjoyed that so much, I was like, let me go ahead and see, can I do this on my own? And here I am, bringing y'all the podcast on all podcast platforms, and I bring y'all the visual when you Hello Beauties podcast. So when it comes to my businesses with applying the new year, new me, I want to just get more invested with what I was doing. So they say like reading is fundamental. Y'all, when I say, especially now, like we're back on quarantine here in Memphis, Tennessee. We started today. Like Hello Beauties podcast is always pre-recorded. So I record usually on the weekends and then y'all get it on Tuesdays. So today, which is the day after Christmas, Merry Christmas to all y'all. Oh, yeah, that's right, Merry Christmas. I hope all y'all had a great holiday and all of that. And Happy New Year's. If I don't talk to y'all before, I probably won't. I talk to y'all after New Year. So, and then happy early New Year. So, yeah. So, reading is fundamental. And especially since doing this quarantine, and we're back on quarantine from today until January the 22nd. I have been reading books now. But I have been online reading a lot of stuff. And just trying to further educate myself on exactly, like, everything that I'm investing my time, myself and my money in. And it's like, you know, all of my businesses, everything that I want to accomplish, everything that I want to flourish, everything that I want to be great. You know, I've been constantly like reading up on it. And when it comes to like the technical side of things, y'all see like I have the logo, I try to do me a little commercial, like stuff like that, just like learning more stuff like that, like on the technical side. And when it comes to the paperwork, you know, of course, when it comes to the money, just like, you know, just learning things and knowing that you need to own the rights to certain things when it comes to podcasting. And like I said, on the interior design, just further educating myself, because I didn't go to school for that. Interior decorating. A lot of people go to school for how many years it takes. I think it's 4 that I tried to look up before to like actually do it. I think it was like 4 years total. I don't know if it was a time beyond that, like as far as I read, but I didn't end up going to school for it. There's a lot of people that I read up on that didn't go to school at all. They just started out like me, just having a love for it, the passion for it, and loving to decorate. People like what you do, and they pay you to decorate their home. That's just what it is. And when it comes to this podcast and stuff, honey, I talk on the regular anyway. How y'all doing? Honey, I talk on the regular anyway. So this came very natural to me. You know what I'm saying? So, and then with further educating myself and like learning things from other people, you know, that's always something that can be done. Like, I have this lady that I watch on YouTube, and I don't know exactly how to pronounce her name, but I'm gonna put her name in a picture next to me so y'all can see. And like, she teaches you about like video content and online businesses and how to expand your audiences and stuff like that. And like her video quality, like that is what first got my attention. Like video quality. And that's another thing, like investing in your brand and investing in yourself. It's like when like, I don't know if y'all can tell today, but I'm much brighter because I have better lights. And then I'm in another setting, y'all, because it was like a whole lot. Today has been a day just in itself, y'all. Just trying to tell y'all, this is the weekend of my baby girl Callie's birthday. Her birthday is actually Monday, but the weekend is where everything is going down. I'm just gonna have some little small gathering here in my house. Just the children, no adults, no parents, because I want to keep it small just because we are in quarantine and the numbers are spiked up, you know, just to keep it safe. So it's a lot going on. So I had to give y'all a whole nother scenery with a whole different background. So hey, how y'all doing? We might be back to regular programming next week. But yeah, I follow this lady and I look at her videos. But like I was saying, like the quality of her videos is what caught my attention first. Like it was just like, and then she's a dark skinned, beautiful melanin skin woman. So that like caught my attention. And then of course I clicked on her video and I started, I'm like, okay, it's like she's lit, it's information, it's like it's her content is very inspiring, and then it's information that I can use and I can apply when it comes to my businesses and all that. But like, yeah, she teaches like visual content, how to expand your businesses, and then online businesses. So she's like a video coach. So y'all check her out. I think her Instagram is Zaylee. If I'm wrong, look, y'all, if y'all can pronounce it better than me, I think it's Zaylee though. I think it's Zaylee Barley. That may be her name. But yeah, she has a YouTube and she has the Instagram, and that's somebody that I look at. And then this is something, these people right here I started listening to and looking at this. I guess they call it a podcast. It's a weekly podcast called I Am Athlete. Now, I would have never clicked on it, but it was constantly coming up on my suggestions on YouTube. Because like I told you, I watch YouTube like I watch TV. It was constantly coming up on my suggestions on YouTube. So I'm like, let me go ahead and see what it's about. Because obviously it's something that I need to watch. And like, I really enjoy these men. Like, it's a bunch of ex-football players. So initially, like, probably I wouldn't be into it because I don't know nothing about sports, honey. Especially that basketball, I have learned a little bit about. But football, I never learned the sport of football. Never even wanted to. But these men, like, it's a good podcast, y'all. It's a weekly podcast. They come on YouTube, and it's hosted by like former NFL players, Brandon Marshall, Chad Johnson, Ocho Cinco, Fred Taylor, and Channing Chatter. I think that's his name. He's hilarious. I love him. And then they have like other guests starring on there sometime. Like T.O. has been on there a few times. And like, they talk about they talk about life like on and off the field, but not just that. Like, they talk about money investments, which is very educational and something that you can learn from. They talk about marriages because, most of them are married on there. They talk about finances, helping budgeting. They talk about mental health, which is something that is very important, especially in the Black community, because it's not talked about enough. It's getting a little spotlight now, but, it's a very touchy subject that we don't like to touch. And there's a lot of mental issues, a lot of mental health that go on in our communities, like where we from, like for real from, which is, the hood basically. And, people just don't talk about it, or it's laughed upon, or whatever it is. But like, they talk about relationships, investments, and a little bit of politics. Now, I ain't really a politics type person, but some stuff is good to know when it comes to politics, because let's face it, like, politics is basically what your life is gonna be, especially with what's going on with the presidential election, but we have a new president, 2021, amen, hallelujah, thank you, Jesus, okay? So we're going to pray over all that, but yeah, like, I enjoy that podcast, like I really do, and it's called I Am Athlete. And like I said, initially, I didn't think that I would like anything like that, because I knew off the top by saying Ocho Cinco, I just automatically assumed everybody was football players, and they were, but like, it's a very good podcast. So just learning more about my craft and like watching people like that. And it's the other few people, like those are the main two waves I've really been on lately. But it's the other few people that I watch and I follow like on my Instagram for like inspiration, and just like that give out inspirational quotes that I just want to see come down my news feed whenever I log in onto my social medias or whatever, because y'all know I have a main social media, then I have a Hello Beauties podcast social media and all of that. So, and YouTube Sis podcast social media, if y'all not following any of those on Instagram, it's Hello Beauties podcast on Instagram and YouTube Sis on Instagram. So yeah, so going into 2021, I do want to apply the new year, new me. Just to become a better me, because 2020 has taught me a lot. It's brought me closer to God, which will only bring me even closer to him in 2021. And it's not like I didn't know him before. It's like I just know him better now. And, that's a blessing to me. And that's something that I really enjoy, because, look, it amazes me just by calling on his name. It can make all your worries and bad thoughts and troubles go away. Like, for real. If y'all don't know about it, try it. Just healthier eating, and it's something. It's like some of the stuff. I like the way it makes my body feel. Like my husband said, honey, you probably the healthiest person walking around Memphis right now, honey. How I eat now? I really eat, y'all, a lot of green stuff, a lot of nuts. I do like chicken, turkey, and fish. I don't do any more of the like soul food, junk food. Like, I've cut all of that, and I've cut it down to a minimum when it comes to my household when buying groceries. So yeah, this is the final episode of 2020. It has been a year, but if y'all still here to even be able to say that, I feel like that's enough, and y'all should not complain. Like, just thank God. When it go to complain, just thank God, okay? That's what I do. So, This has been episode 5, y'all. New year, new me. How y'all gonna apply the new me to the new year? Like, what are y'all gonna do? What are some changes y'all gonna make? What are some things you're gonna enforce? I mean, like, on the positive side, not the negative stuff, like cutting people out your life. Like, forget all that. Focus on the positive. Like, what y'all gonna do to, like, better y'all self, better y'all career, honey, get more money in y'all pockets. Like, what do y'all plan on doing for the new year? So, new year, new me. This has been episode 5, y'all. And I bring you a brand new episode every single week on the Tuesday here on the Hello Beauties podcast. So I will see you guys same place, same time, right here next week on the Hello Beauties podcast. If y'all aren't following me on my social media, like I said, it's Hello Beauties podcast on Instagram. If you are not subscribed on YouTube, if y'all watch me on YouTube, or if you're listening to me on the podcast platforms, it's Hello Beauties podcast on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe so you will never miss an upload of the episode when I bring you the visual of the podcast. So you'll be able to enjoy watching me just as much as you enjoy listening. And then I'm available on Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Pocket Cast, pretty much all of your podcast platforms. You type it in, I should pop up with my lovely face. Okay. And I also have a website, y'all. Check me out on the Hello Beauties podcast website. It's going to be in the link down below if you are watching me on YouTube. And if you are listening to me on the podcast platforms, it's on my main page on the website link. Click it, and I give you weekly updates of what's going on with the podcast. If I have special guests coming up that week, what's going to be the next topic, things like that. Weekly updates on the Hello Beauties podcast. Check me out, y'all. And I will see you guys next week. Bye, y'all.